Hey there, I'm Randy Zimnock. You know how sometimes it might take a while to get offers on your investment properties? Well, in this episode, I'm going to give you 2 ways on how you can lower your overhead while you wait on those offers to come in. So recently I was working with a client that rehabbed the property and we were hired to sell the renovated property. We had all the sales to support our list price within the last 6 months. However, the market slowed down a bit. So even though we had comps to support what we were asking, we were not getting any offers. And it was getting a little frustrating, of course, for our client, the seller, and us, because we're continually marketing the property and we're not getting the offers, but we have comps to support our list price. So what does that mean? The seller has 3 options. They could tell us and to do basically nothing and just stay firm and just stay at this price and no one does anything. We just continue market that price. Second option, they could drop the price quite a bit in order to create more activity, right? And then hopefully get an offer and sell, but most likely they might actually lose money at that point, right? Because a lot of the investor clients we work with, they work on maybe $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 profit margins. So if we drop the price too much, it might mean they lose money. So that's not that attractive of an option. Third option is actually lowering overhead. And that's what I'm going to really focus on. Because the first thing that our client did here, as we noticed that there was a bit of a slowdown, she started investigating opportunities to refinance or pay off her hard money loan. Hard money loans, as I said in previous episodes, they're at much higher interest rates. So the monthly payments are pretty steep. So she went to a couple banks and she was actually, in this situation, was able to take out an equity line on her primary residence at like ridiculous, like 3% or something. So her monthly payment was so low, she paid off the hard money loan with her equity line and completely like cut her, monthly expenses in like more than half. I think, if I remember correctly, like it literally went down to like $250 because this wasn't that expensive of a property here in San Diego, which is also kind of unreal, but that's what it was here. And so she lowered her overhead, right, by doing that. And then meanwhile, what I did is I got her vacation rental projections from a partner that I know that does vacation rental managing, right? So I got a report for her and she realized that, wow, she could make a pretty decent amount of money if she maybe goes that route. She and I also worked on getting corporate rental projections. And those are usually companies that will rent it to like maybe military or nurses, government, and they usually are like minimum 30 days stays, right? On a month-to-month basis. That's pretty attractive. It's not as much as you can potentially get from a vacation rental, but you also don't have all that turnover, right? And then lastly, we looked at long-term rental projections. What would that look like if she were to get her tenant for 12 months? What would that look like? In either situations, because she lowered her overhead, she would actually have positive cash flow, which was amazing. However, she of course got excited about the vacation rental because that pointed to obviously the most revenue for her, right? And profit. So she was already starting to set things up and change some of the staging in order to basically prepare herself to start doing vacation rentals. And funny enough, as she was doing that, we got an offer on the property, which was amazing news, right? Because ultimately, investors that are buying a property to fix and sell, they're not so excited, I guess, about holding on to those properties and doing vacation rentals. But if the numbers make sense, and if it means that, hey, I have to lower my price by $25,000 to get an offer and lose money, or I do a vacation rental and actually make positive cash flow, it actually might convince them to hold on to it. But ultimately, that is not their goal, right? So we got this offer, we started negotiating, and the cool part about all this is that we now were able to have leverage and actually be like patient and be more rational. And as I always say, our intelligence was really high because our emotions were very low, right? No one was panicking, and we were just negotiating back and forth with this buyer without any panic, because she knew she had a plan B, right? And she could have picked any one of those three. And ultimately, we ended up selling the property. So that was amazing end to the story. But the point here is, if you're in that situation, if you're an agent and you have a client, investor client that's in this situation, or if you're the investor in the situation, I encourage you to really focus on lowering your overhead and look for an opportunity on how to actually also increase revenue. And that's how you create a win-win. Analyzing a property before you buy it is obviously very important. However, what I find that most people just do it wrong. And I know that alone, one mistake could cost you tens and thousands of dollars. It could literally cost you your business. And I don't want that to happen to you. So I created a step-by-step property analysis guide sheet to walk you through exactly what to look for to make sure your deal that you're looking at is worth buying. To get the property analysis guide sheet, just go to randyzimnock.com.